What is going on, everybody? How we doing today? It is a Saturday. Typically, we would not be streaming Saturday. However, we are going to be watching BKFC, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships. Now, I'm a little bit late. I'll be honest with you. The card has already started, but it's the early prelims, or they're free prelims as they call it in BKFC. You can literally watch these on YouTube. They have them live on YouTube. There's two fights. They already had one. They have the second fight, and then the main card starts. The actual main show starts. And yeah, we're watching BKFC today because, for one thing, the UFC was a little bit earlier in the day, and I just could not stream for that. It just was not going to happen. But then, in addition to that, interestingly enough, I actually know a few guys, and I know of more guys that are going to be fighting on this card. It is at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut, right? So the BKFC is now in New England. They've been in New England for a little while. They've been having shows in Connecticut and stuff like that. And I'm hoping they'll come to Massachusetts at some point. If they come to Massachusetts, I'm probably going to try my best to get on a card if they come to Massachusetts. But BKFC is growing. It's the fastest growing combat sport in the whole wide world. Didn't you know? They say that all the time. And it's going to be good, right? I know a few of the guys, right? One of them is a dude that I sparred with here and there over the years. And then there is a couple other guys who I met at a tryout back in the day. I show my shirt every now and again, right? I tried out for BKFC in 2021. Me trying out for BKFC is part of the reason why I met Sam in an indirect fashion. But I tried out for BKFC and I met a couple of guys, right? I met multiple, but two of them are dudes that I kind of tried to keep up with a little bit. One of them, his name is Cito, right? Cito Navarro. And then another guy is Jack Grady. Jack Shady Grady, more like. And I'm gonna see if I can find something for you guys to show you Jack Grady. Man, oh man. I just want to see if I can figure this out here, because he had a bit of a moment. He had a bit of a moment. All right. And I want to go ahead. I want to see if I can find it, but I'm having a bit of a hard time here. You see, there's a video that I was looking for, right? And unfortunately, I'm having a hard time finding it. But I will go ahead and I'll show you a little something else. All right. So this right here. All right. This right here was from Jack Grady's last fight. This is Jack Grady right here. All right. Notice the headbutts and stuff like that. All right. Don't worry. More. Oh, so they ended it. And look at what's about to happen here. A riot. He just got taken down by someone very special. You see this guy right here? That's Dave Feldman. He's the president. He's the owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships. He and what I would assume is, if not the ref, then it might be one of the cut men, takes him down. Yep. That's what happened the last time Jack Grady fought on BKFC. And it's pretty interesting to see. It's pretty interesting to see him back. I met him and I actually got to talk with him. He's not a bad guy. He's just a little cuckoo. He's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He's a cool guy though. Other than that, we were in the same group for our pad work sessions. We did pad work, and I got to meet him and talk to him a little bit. Now, Cito, he is actually a Massachusetts native. He went out there and he actually got picked out of like 150 to 200 dudes. He got picked to have the contract for that tryout. Him and another guy, Devin Gibson. He's a dude from Canada. Yeah, so whenever I see Jack Grady, whenever I see Cito, whenever I see a couple other guys too, I like to see them fight. I like to just pay attention. Now, BKFC is very interesting because it's a lot more fast paced than any other combat sport out there right now. Dudes are absolutely swinging for the fences right away, and it's exciting. Now I don't watch a ton of it, I'll be honest with you, but that's only because I don't watch a ton of combat sports in the first place. If I'm just being real, if I'm just being real, I also have to. Sorry, I kind of have to. I have to. I gotta make sure I shill this. I gotta make sure I shill this thing in the places that I need to. It's looking like the final prelim fight. No, I don't think the final prelim fight is over. I think yeah, I'm not really paying attention. I have the fights up in front of me right now and I'm watching them, but I'm not really like watching the final prelim fight because I don't care about it that much. What I'm gonna do right now because I got home and I had to start this up right away. There was no like, oh, I'm gonna schedule and then I'm gonna start the stream in 20 minutes. I'm like kind of fucked up right now. If I apologize if I'm a little all over the place. It's because I am a little all over the place. I'm thinking about 5 different things all at once. Um, Sorry. Yeah, that works. Wait. Oh, damn it. I hit paste instead of fucking copy. But yeah, so not only is there those two dudes, all right, but there's also a few other guys from the area that are on there. One of them is named Jorgen De Castro. He's a guy that I have sparred with multiple times. He's a really cool guy. He was in the UFC. He actually has like a highlight reel knockout on Justin Tafa. If you know who Justin Tafa is, he knocked Justin Tafa out cold, clean. You know. Um, and there's also Rico Di Cilio, I believe. I forget how you say his last name, but he was on the Ultimate Fighter with Conor McGregor. He was on Conor McGregor's team, and McGregor's team was getting absolutely fucking whomped. And he was the first win of the season for Conor McGregor's team, the season that they were on. And then also there is another guy who I forget his name. I gotta double check. I gotta double check here. Oh yeah, Will Santiago. Santiago. I'm pretty sure Will Santiago is from my region too. So it's going to be cool to see those guys. And it's crazy. I just noticed that the Cito Navarro versus Jack Grady fight. Cito is a -1,000 favorite. He is -1 fucking thousand. I'm not a Vegas odds betting guy, but that is crazy. That is insane, dude. That is wild. I have never seen anything like that. And then Grady is a plus 495 underdog. He is almost a 500 underdog. That is too wow. That is just wow, man. Um, Excuse me. Man. And the reason why is because Jack Grady has only ever won one fight out of the like 10 to 15 that he's had. He's fought on HBO and stuff like that. He was like 0-10-1 or something like that. I think the one win he had was overturned. I think he had one win and it was overturned for one reason or another. I couldn't even tell you why. But he ended up getting his win in his second fight for BKFC. He's had 3 fights for BKFC thus far. Lost the first one versus Travis Thompson. I remember that. He didn't even do like terrible considering it was Travis Thompson. Travis Thompson was a little scary at the time. What's it called? He won the second one against some other dude that I don't even know the name of. And then the third one is the one that I showed you where the riot took place, the in-ring riot took place. So it looks like, yes, the final prelim has just ended. I would assume via body shot. Like I said, I wasn't really paying too close attention, but yeah. Anyway, Eric Prids in BK sounds nice. What's the venue? I don't know who Eric Prids is. Eric Prides? Eric Prids? Um, The venue is at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut, I believe is what it was. Um, but yeah. Oh, wait a second. Is it? Oh, just watching was good with Big Red before I go to Brooklyn for Eric Pride's DJ set from Connect. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Anyway, so yeah. I'm trying. Like I said, I got home. I got home at like 6:27, and I started streaming at like 6:30, like one. So, like I said, I apologize if I'm a little all over the place. I still am a little all over the place. I'm gonna try to take the next 10 minutes because the last prelim just I almost just said failed. The last prelim just ended. There's probably going to be like 10 to 15 minutes until the next fight. So I'm going to take that 10 to 15 minutes to really compose myself, and then we'll be all set for the next fight here. And when I say compose myself, I mean just try my best to get some shit out. Uh, um, mm, yeah, fuck it. Throw it in here. Who gives a shit? I don't give a shit. Snoopy. My dog is trying to get at some food that was left on my bed. There was a plate left on my bed. All right, I'll be right back. I'll be right there. Oh wait, baby, we never found the charger for my laptop, so that thing's not gonna work.
No, okay, okay with mine.
You're okay with using yours?
Yeah, if it works, yeah.
Okay.
I'll bring.
All right. Thank you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have the fights up right now. I'd just rather watch them on my big TV instead of my phone. You know, the DAZN app on my phone, the totally legit DAZN app that is on my phone right now. So I'm trying to get that set up right now. But anyway, sorry, I'm just looking around right now trying to get all this shit figured out, and that did not actually post. Oh, excuse me. Should be good. Hoping and praying. Hoping and praying. All right. All right. Again, I apologize. I apologize. I'm still trying to get this shit figured out. But yeah, so BKFC, I like BKFC because it's a little bit more fast paced, right? But then there's also a different meta to it, right? There's a different sort of it's just different. Bottom line, it's just different. And it's a lot of what the UFC and modern boxing has not been for a long time. It's two dudes going in there. Yeah, there's strategy, there's tactics, but it's still just two dudes going in there and just trying to find out who the better guy is, right? Um, Going in there, swinging for the fences, leaving it all out there. You see a lot more of that, and I appreciate that for that reason. It's fun, and I like it because it also provides, or it also leaves you with a certain um there is a certain where okay I, yeah, hold on. It needs, it's connected to the TV.
Oh no, I do have the HDMI.
Oh. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in that area.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. That's it. Trying to do this. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I'm trying to unfuck this whole thing right now. I apologize for that. But what I was saying is, what I like about BKFC is that it's a little bit faster paced. Dudes are going in there. They're not as worried about numbers. They're not numbers guys. Like fighting has been nerdified, where it's all about the numbers and it's all about the gamification. And now you have fighters who it's like it's less that they're going out there and fighting and more that they're just enacting the will of their coach, right? If these coaches could go out there with fucking PS2 controllers and like sit here and play a real life game of UFC whatever, however many UFC games there's been, they would. They'd do that in a heartbeat, right? And it all just comes down to people wanting to win so that they can have, you know, more money coming in. So you can't even 100% like blame them necessarily, but it's still frustrating to see as a viewer because you're watching like Michael Venom Page versus Shara, right? Shara Magomedov. I thought that was going to be a banger. I thought that was going to be a really fun fight. Kind of a snooze fest, if I'm being honest with you. It was not really that fun to watch. And MVP and Shara are two dudes who are known to be like exciting fighters. When you take these two exciting fighters and put them together, it's almost like they just cancel each other out because nobody wants to take chances. You know, everybody's a lot more exciting when they end up fighting dudes that are just not nearly as good as they are. You know, that's the way that it is a lot of the time. And you know, that is also an issue with that gamification thing that I was talking about, right? But then, in addition to that, right? BKFC, are you good?
No.
No?
No, yeah.
Do you not know how to plug it in, or
It's not connected. Yeah, it's not plugged in.
oh, it's not plugged in?
Yeah.
Hold on one sec. Is that good? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, I just wasn't sure if it was because it wasn't like it was plugged in, but it wasn't working. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Luckily, we seem to have a little bit of time. They're taking them. Oh, yeah. It seems like they're taking a minute, and we're like just about set up. We're just about like good to go. You know, but I don't want to sit down right away because I'm probably gonna have to get up and type some shit in again. So you know. Fuck. Almost tripped over my own Coca-Cola. Are you good?
Yeah.
What is like? Why is that? Oh, there it is. What do you usually use? Firefox?
Yeah.
I need to open up a thing. So VPN on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, guys. I'm still here. Like I said, setting it up.
This is pretty good.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. This looks good.
All right, we're almost up. All right. Cool. So yeah, we're just waiting for it to start playing right now. Okay. We're waiting for it to start playing right now. Oh man. That's that's Zach Kalmus on the left right there. That was Zach Kalmus on the left. Yeah. So right now it's playing like highlights and shit like that. I think they're waiting to get the go ahead to go, you know. It seems like it's highlights from the last seems like it's highlights from the last card, you know, because a lot of these are new, and then Beck Rollins and Taylor Starling, they fought in the main event last time, so you know. But anyway, like what I like about BKFC is that it's a little bit faster paced, you know. Like even the girl fights tend to be a little bit better than like female women's boxing and women's MMA. If I'm being honest with you, like I don't mind watching Taylor Starling or Beck Rollins or Rawlings or you know anyone. It's all good to me. I don't mind it. Because the fights are exciting. But then, in addition to that, I also appreciate the different meta, the different way that you have to approach all of this, the different way you have to utilize your body. There's a lot of things that you can get away with in like boxing and MMA and stuff like that that it can be a little bit harder to get away with sometimes. Um, you know, and then in addition to that, there's things that you can do that might not work as well in boxing and MMA, right? Like you have to be very careful how you're throwing punches in bare knuckle, because if you end up throwing a straight punch down the middle and a dude fucking ducks his head like that, you might end up breaking your hand in a way that you might not with a with an MMA glove with wraps that extend all the way down, and definitely not with a boxing glove or anything like that. And then in addition to that, there's other little things you can do as well, like you can elbow block and stuff like that. No, it's just an interesting meta that is present there. Then also, which is actually what I'm watching right now from the highlights, you also see clinching. You are allowed to clinch in BKFC rules. I don't know about the whole of bare knuckle boxing because there are a couple of different organizations now. The two main ones in America are they are BKFC and BYB, Backyard Brawls, and I think their rule sets might be just a tiny bit different. But um, in BKFC, I know you're allowed to clinch, and that's a really cool thing in my opinion. I really like that. I really like that. Um, only watched MVP's first one versus Holland back a lot, and it seemed a bit nervy compared to him on Bellator. Oh yeah, and that's just the reality of the fight world. And I'm actually working on a video. I'm actually working on a video where I talk a little bit about why I've changed my tune when it comes to having a career as a fighter. The reality of the fight world is you are only ever going to be able to beat people who you are better than, or people who had a bit of a hard time. You know, that those are the only people you're ever really going to be able to beat. There's a couple other examples of that, right? And I'm sitting here like watching what's going on the TV, so I'm not doing a good job at this, right? When it comes to the fight world, there's some truths that exist, and you see, Ramsey Dewey explains it better than I do. I was going to explain it in a certain way, but Ramsey Dewey does more justice to it than I do. I was basically going to quote verbatim what Ramsey Dewey had to say on the subject, which is something along the lines of if you win a fight, it was because you were either A, always going to win it because you were just the better fighter, like that guy was not as good as you, or maybe the other guy had a bad day, or like there was some other outside factor, right? Um, like he talks about that in one of his videos I saw a long time ago. But like what I was gonna say is it's real easy to have highlight reel KOs against people who are not as good as you are, or they are a certain way compared to you. Whether it's you're a lot taller than them, like with John Jones, that's why John Jones was able to be so creative and so awesome with all of his that's why John Jones was so good fighting against dudes like in his early career, right? He still messes around a little bit, but you notice he isn't as ballsy now that he's fighting dudes that are his height a lot of the time, right? Um, in addition to that, you have people like Michael Venom Page, who, yeah, he was probably beating on underclassmen in Bellator. You know, Michael Venom Page was here. The rest of Bellator was probably here for the most part. For the most part, it's not like MVP was undefeated, but you get what I'm saying. Um, Overall, though, like now that he's facing dudes that are higher talent, that are higher competition, yeah, he's not having as easy of a time, and because of that, it's just like whatever, you know. But anyway, it looks like it's starting up now. We aren't seeing ring walks yet. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to go full screen, baby. Did you get your mouse?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I kind of need it.
What is it?
I'm gonna take a bite as well.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you. Come on, man. All right. Good shot. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. We are set up now. We're we're all good. We're all good. All right. So the card is starting. Okay. The card is starting. If I had known it was going to start at 7, I would have not bothered streaming this entire time. I would have just started at 7, you know? That is one thing that I'm not a that like you know, they have those 2 fights. They take not even an hour. They only take like a half hour, and then they just have a what, like 20 to 30 minutes of just like hanging out. Like, no, that's, you know, kind of stupid in my opinion, but hey, it is what it is, you know? But yeah, so the first fight of the night is going to be the fight that we were originally going to be here for. We originally wanted to, or I originally wanted to stream for. It's going to be right here, Cito Navarro versus Jack Grady. So, tail of the tape is 5'10 and 5'10, 70 reach for Cito, 70.5 for Shady Grady. They do fist size, I guess. I don't know. 135 and 136. And the betting odds, like I said, minus 1,000 for Cito Navarro, plus 495 for Jack Grady. Baby, could you turn it up a little bit? Do you have the remote? Yeah, I'm just curious what they have to say about Grady. That's crazy. Thank you. Man. That was so nice to see Grady get his first win in BKFC specifically, you know. That was so good to see him get his first win in BKFC. But anyway, yeah, so like I like both of these guys. It's hard for me to pick one of them, but if I had to pick one of them, I'd say I'd probably go with the hometown guy, and that is Lardy Cito, right? You know, his name's Lardy, but he goes by Cito. Fight number 5. Fight number 5, really? I thought it was gonna be fight number 4. That's weird. Oh man. You see, Jack Grady is crazy. He has this fucking crazy energy. He has this crazy energy that just does not run out. And he's so fun to just like sit there and like just watch, you know. So man. So one thing I'm not a big fan of, right, is you're really fighting in a phone booth with the BKFC squared circle. You know, I almost called it an octagon. They have their own little thing. They call it the squared circle. I like the circle better than the trigon, which is the BYB ring. You know, I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of the trigon, but I prefer a bigger ring because I'm a mover. I like to move around. I keep people at the end of my punches, you know, and I like to just snipe people with hard shots that are set up. Typically, when someone's walking towards me, that's kind of my game. That's what I prefer. And if I'm not going to be there, then I'm going to be all the way on the inside, and I'm going to be trying to rip to the body, you know, to the head, things like that. But I don't like being in mid-range. And I also, even though I'm comfortable going to the inside, I don't prefer to be in there unless I want to be, you know? And because of that, you're kind of in this weird spot here where the ring is so small, the squared circle is so small, you're just sort of, you know, you're forced. So I personally wouldn't love the hell out of that, you know? I think it's definitely bigger than the cages that I've fought in. But it's not much bigger, and that's the thing that kills me a little bit, you know. Excuse me. What about the Karate Combat Arena with the sloped walls? I find that to be an interesting thing. I find it interesting, you know. It's a gimmick at the end of the day. It doesn't do too much to affect the fighting, although you see some dudes who get knocked over on top of it and they try up kicking off of it. And then you also see they do jujitsu in there as well. I find that to be interesting, you know. But yeah, like they tried having sloped walls in MMA before, and it just didn't work. Excuse me. It was a cage, but it was you know, a circle with sloped walls, and then the cage would be at the top of the wall, And it was in theory supposed to help people stay away from cage work, but all it did was make it easier for dudes to take people down. Which, I mean, technically it worked then, but the idea behind keeping them away from cage work is that you wanted dudes throwing like bombs at each other. You wanted people boxing a little bit more and not stuck. And a lot of the time, dudes would just take each other down and just they'd be stuck on the ground, you know? But anyway, we have the fight right here. It's like I said, it's, you know, looking at both of these guys, like, I like them both. I think they're both cool guys, and I don't want to see any of them lose, but, you know, I gotta root for the Massachusetts guy at the end of the day if you put a gun to my head and made me choose, you know? I just hope it's a good fight overall for both of them, you know, because they're both good dudes, and I think they both want a good fight more than they even want to win at the end of the day. Man. Buffalo, you don't want any more?
No, do you want any more?
Only if you don't want it. Are you sure? Thank you, baby. You don't want any more of this?
No. Yeah, leave me a little bit.
All right, yeah, here you go. Take it. Yeah, you gave me a lot of it, so I was like, Adesanya era officially over. Yeah, that's what I said to my wife earlier. I was like, we're probably never going to see him on a numbered card again unless it's like undercard, you know? And there's a lot of people in that arena. That's pretty cool, man. You see, like, I like BKFC because it gives guy. Oh, all right, here we are. They're towing the line right now, and Grady immediately right on, just immediately tries to pour it on. Grady trying to work the inside. You see, Grady's trying to work the inside because he doesn't want Lardy being able to load up on body shots is really what he wants. Right now, they're just kind of peppering each other. But now Grady's against the ropes, and Lardy was able to... I keep calling him Lardy because that's how he introduced himself to me. But, Cito loading up on those body shots, and wow, okay. Jack Grady just pulled guard. Jack Grady just pulled guard. In a bare knuckle boxing fight, Jack Grady just pulled guard. That is fucking crazy, dude. Ooh. Oh. Was that a slip or a knockdown? It kind of looked like, nah, they ruled it a knockdown. I'm curious what happened, though, because it almost looked like he slipped. I didn't think anything actually hit him. A little bit over a minute left in this first round, and it looks like Cito is already going in for the kill. He really wants that. Grady tying up. They're broken. So yeah, great. Ooh, that was a hard body shot. So Grady right now is trying again. Grady using the. Oh, there's another. I don't think he got taken down that time. I think Cito might have pushed him over. You know, they were in the clinch. Grady was using a bunch of small shots just to kind of try and mess with Cito, and Cito has him up against the cage right now. You see, what Grady's doing right now is he's using the clinch to his advantage, and as soon as it becomes disadvantageous, he's clinching up in a way that's going to cause a break, which is actually a good idea on his part. The way Grady is fighting right now is smart for him because he doesn't want Cito to be able to load up on body shots specifically because he's afraid of getting hit in the body. He's straight up said that's what he thinks is going to happen. Yeah, and Cito ended up landing an uppercut. Grady sort of just, shook it off. And then you saw Lardy threw a jab cross and then a hook to the body as well. That was a pretty interesting first round, they both made it out. That's pretty good. We're going to see a... Oh, okay, yeah. So it looked like he was just out of position and he was like going to fall over regardless and he got hit on the way down. But that is classified as a knockdown regardless, So Jack Grady is down. That was a 10-8 round. All right, so here we have Oh no, they're still doing replays right now. Yep. Just waiting on the round right now. So I would say that Jack needs a little bit more, but I would like to see him work from long or mid range a little bit more. Not just run forward and take shots on the way in and then start hitting them with small punches on the inside. Because unless he's going to create cuts, ooh, that was nice. Cito steps back off the line, throws an uppercut to the body. You see, and Grady just threw an overhand into the clinch. Like, that's what he needs. He can't just be running forward into the clinch. He's got to make sure that he's throwing into the clinch so that hopefully he'll end up hitting something. But then in addition to that, he won't get hit on the way in, which is what's going on right now. Grady is actually doing a good job right now. He's winning this round 30 seconds into the round, in my opinion. Now what Cito needs to do is he needs to move laterally, right? He needs to move laterally. He needs to frame off the head, specifically when Grady is running forward, because there's plenty of times where Grady literally just runs forward, like right there, and he caught an uppercut, a hook, and then a fucking cross. And you see now Cito's starting to go to work, and that's good for him, you know? After this fight, I'll talk about Adesanya and some of the fights from the UFC today. Ooh, a couple of nice hooks from Cito. You see, Cito is being smothered right now. Like when he is at his range, he's able to work and he's able to work beautifully. But he's gotta stay at that range. He's gotta frame off the head. Ooh, that was a nice slip and rip to the body right there from Cito. But again, he's in close right now. Ooh, that was a nice left hook from Cito. A nice uppercut, but Grady ends up slipping it. Ooh, that was nice. He worked the body and then he came up with a left hook, talking about Cito. That was nice. Seems like he's trying to do it again. And you see the commentary team just said they want to see Navarro frame off and come with some hard shots, and that's exactly what he needs. He needs to not only frame with hard shots. You see right now, Grady is actually winning the battle from mid-range right now. At the end of that round, Grady was winning that battle from mid-range. That was really good on his part, you know. Man, that was really cool to see. But yeah, I mean, overall, like what Cito needs to do is he needs to frame off the head when Grady's coming in, especially when he's coming in without any punches to disguise the forward movement. And he needs to move either left or right. You know, he can't just be sitting here moving back while Grady's running towards him. He has to circle out and then use that slick boxing to keep Grady from getting. Well, he needs to use it to win, right? But more so than to just use it to win, he needs to punish Grady for the forward movement. You know, Grady is trying to use attrition, and he can win with attrition. You know, meaning Grady, but if you punish Grady for the attrition, if every time he tries to move forward and make it into a street fight, you punish him with some slick boxing and you say, no, we ain't fighting like that, then it ain't going to matter. Oh, geez, they already started and they are right at it. They are right at it. I didn't even realize they started right away. Damn. Yeah. You see, Cito's... Oh, man. See, Cito covering up right now. Grady just absolutely letting him have it, and Cito is down. Cito's down. So he took a knee more so than he got knocked out, but I'm wondering if eight. Oh, he's up at the 8. Yeah, the referee, the commentary just said Cito's worn out, and honestly, I think he needed a second there because he was worn out, but he's fighting back. He's fighting back, you know. Grady just moving forward, absolutely insane with that forward motion, dude. Absolutely insane with that forward pressure, you know. And he's been taking body shots too. He's been taking hard, digging body shots for a while now, you know. Taking body shots like that will take a lot out of you, you know. But these guys are both doing great right now. I'm so proud of both of them, you know. Ooh, yeah, that was a nice shot from Cito. I don't know if it landed though. I think he threw to the body. You see, and right now, Cito's actually moving in close and trying his best to use closeness as his friend. You know, it's funny, these guys over the last minute or so, they've kind of switched. Ooh, some hard body shots. Ooh, nice. Damn, he pulled back, he faded out and came with that lead left, you know? Man, this is a great fight. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is why I like BKFC for this. This is a good fight. Both of these guys. Ooh, Grady is down. Jack Grady down. Wow. Wow, this is a fight. This is a fucking fight. Oh man. Wow, end of the round. So that's a knockdown apiece per that round. It was going to be a 10-8 for Grady, but now it's a it's going to be a I don't know, that could be 8-8. That could be a tie. I got to be honest with you. Like, sometimes I forget exactly how it works. I'm not a boxing judge, so I just kind of let that be. But you could see, yeah, Grady, excuse me, Cito. I think he just folded under the constant pressure, which is understandable. It's not fun to just be getting hit there like that. But man, there was. I want to see that other knockdown, right? Bang, hits him with a. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So he hit it. Cito came over the top with a left hook in the clinch, which again, it's funny because you saw Grady utilizing the clinch at first, and Cito trying to stay away from the clinch. One of Grady's best moments was from that mid range, and one of Cito's best moments was from the clinch. It's just funny how that happened. He came over the top with a left hook, and then he threw another left as he was kind of bouncing off the ropes, and that I think that's what really did it. All right, so here we are, round 3 of 5. All right, so you got to hand it to Grady. He just moves forward off that line, and he doesn't care what happens. You got to hand it to him, dude. So we got Cito right now utilizing the ropes to his advantage. He's digging those body shots, and those definitely do not feel good. They definitely don't feel good. Like Cito using those body shots in the clinch is like really, really good. Like, good for him, man. Like that's the way that. Ooh, that was a nice uppercut from Grady, but Grady's taking some punishment right now too. Oh, and Grady is down. Hmm. So it seems like Cito has his second win by now. We're gonna see if Grady gets his clinch break by the referee, and another break. Yeah, he called the break. Plus, I don't think that was an actual fight. I think that was a fight, an actual knockdown. I think he just kind of got pushed. Ooh, nice shot from Cito. See, this is a lefty versus righty battle, so Cito's been kind of leading with his cross. Ooh, another lead cross, and another. That is a knockdown again, a second knockdown in this round. We have a little over 30 seconds, and I think Grady's going to get back up. Yeah, Grady's going to get back up. Man, this is an exciting fight, and you can see Cito is a little tired. Oh, man, damn. There's a 3 knockdown rule. That was the third knockdown. Damn. So like I said, if I had to root for somebody, I'd root for Cito, but it's still like, man, I like seeing Jack Grady do well. Man, that was a barn burner, dude. They both did really good. They both did real well. Man. Peace out, Nas. What's going on? What's going on, gay guy, as well as Scratch Coast and Smart Moron? I didn't say hello to you guys earlier. Oh man. Yeah, that was just an interesting fight. That was a good fight. I liked it. It was fun. It was a good one. It sure was a good one. Um, Man, I'm hungry and I don't know what to eat because I didn't get any. I just got back. Oh, you know what? Damn, 127 strikes, 2 Grady's, 112. That's 79% accuracy versus 85% accuracy. Oh, and then they're talking about body shots as well. 79% accuracy versus 85% accuracy from Jack Grady. So it's funny. Jack Grady threw less, but he landed more. You know. Man, that was just a great fight, man. You know. Mm. You can see the damage on both of them too. You know. They're I talk about Bruce Buffer and Michael Buffer. I think the announcer for BKFC is also good too. I think he's up there. I don't know. I don't know if he's on the same exact plane as Bruce and Michael Buffer, but um I think for their brand he is perfect, and he has his thing just like Bruce and Michael Buffer do, you know. And he doesn't make it about him because that's the thing that I realized is like a lot of ring announcers, they try their best to make it about themselves. It's not about like the fights or the fighters or anything like that. They try their best to make it about themselves, especially when they're doing the main event thing. You know, Bruce Buffer is like, this is your main event of the evening. But first, right? That's just his thing, right? You have some other guys, right? I saw this one dude, uh, fucking, he like he brings a beer into the cage, right? And he's like, and now everybody at the blah 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 fucking fun house, whatever. The raise a glass, take a drink, and get ready for your main event. It's like, no, having props, telling people to do shit, you're trying to make it about yourself. You may not realize it, you may not think it, but you're trying your best to make it about yourself, and you got to knock that shit off. Just get in there and say, this is your main event of the evening. But put your spin on it in a way that isn't like some self-aggrandizing thing where you're like the MC, you're like the leader. You're like the leader of the fucking of the events that are going on, you know? Like don't do that. Don't fucking do that, you know? There we go. Hmm. Where's the wine? I guess I might as well. Well, should I? Should I? I'll drink a little bit of it now. You know, I ain't trying to get drunk tonight. You see, I started buying wine because I was like, hey, a glass. I almost said a bottle. A glass of red wine every night with dinner is actually good for you. It's good for you. It's good for the heart. You know, good for a few different kinds of things, to my understanding. I want to pick up a healthy habit that may not be completely and totally awful. You know, it's not like eating my vegetables or anything like that. Uh, I'm gonna start buying wine, and I don't do that. I don't do that. For one thing, this isn't red wine. This is a white Zinfandel. You know. But then on top of that, I'm not drinking one every. I'm not drinking one every day. I'm like drinking a ton on the weekends. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, that shit can't sit there for that long. No, this is fine. You know, this is only like a week or two old, and it's not like open. You know, this I opened this like last week. You know. Sorry. Yeah. Um. Yeah, we're probably not going to see a ton of Israel Adesanya in the future, and if we do, it's not going to be at the heights that he once was. You know, I think the fight today was a make or break for him. I think he's probably a little bit too old. Because I remember it was like 2018 when he made his debut. That's 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 7 years ago. And he was in his late 20s 7 years ago. Yeah, you're probably not going to see too much of him. Alex Pereira, we're probably only going to have him for another year or so, maybe two if we're lucky, you know. And there's a good chance he'll have kind of a similar situation happen to him where he just starts losing. That just is what it is, you know. Um, excuse me. Fucking before it tastes oxidized. This doesn't taste oxidized to me, you know. Anyway, jeez. Is he getting TKO'd on a fight night? Wasn't in my cards, man. Don't think it was in them for himself either. Yeah, of course not, you know. Look, because the thing you have to understand is who did Israel Adesanya lose to? He lost to Sean Strickland. Okay, fine. He lost to Alex Pereira. Those are the two guys that he lost to. On a way, and then Dricus du Plessis. But the thing is, he lost to Dricus because of his grappling. He's probably sitting here thinking, "Hey, you know, fucking, I'll just get better at grappling." It's not like it was a savage KO or anything like that, right? He probably was thinking to himself, I'll just patch the holes and I'll be all good. I patch the holes, I'm all good. I'm back up at top. It's not like I'm going to have to fight Alex Pereira again, right? Right? You know? So it's fine. And honestly, as much as I don't like Israel Adesanya, I felt kind of bad for him too. I'll be honest with you, you know? He was a big part of the last 7 or 8 years of the UFC. Love him or hate him. Love him or hate him, you know? I remember when I first figured out who he was, it was before his debut. I was watching a Lawrence Kenshin striking breakdown about him, and it actually hyped me up a lot to see him in the UFC after that, you know? So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, anyway. Um, somebody said the Dagestanis are losing aura. I want to talk about that a little bit after this fight, though, because they're about to start it up. It's Tyler Randall versus some other guy. I don't know these guys. Oh, damn. Damn. I meant to go see some wrestling matches today because, like, multiple people were going to be in the same place, and I completely forgot. That fucking sucks, man. Feel like an asshole. Jeez, the size difference. Oh, no, the size difference isn't that bad between these guys. One dude started off literally with such a wide stance, he looked like he was 6 inches shorter than the other guy. Hmm. Nothing huge happening right this second. You know, they're both trying to fight long range here. They're trying to catch each other moving into that mid range. Ooh, nice left hook from the red corner. I still don't even know his name. Oh, overhand from Red. Damn. Blue's looking a little wobbly. You know, not anymore. You know that was like, oh, that was interesting. There was a big fake from Blue, a little bit of head movement, and then he ended up catching Red with an overhand. Fighting from the clinch right now. See, the thing you have to understand about any kind of clinch work is that it's a shit show, right? And the foundation of clinch work has to be that you're comfortable throwing from a shit show. It doesn't matter if you're in a good position, a bad position, or somewhere in between. A lot of the time, you're going to be somewhere in between. You just have to be willing to try and impose your will and try and outwork the other guy. And once you have that foundation built, ooh, a nice overhand from Blue. A counter hook was attempted from Red, but I don't think it actually landed. Once you have that foundation set, then you can build off of that. And that's where in Muay Thai you see dudes with some slick clinch work. They're able to hit, sweeps and dumps and trips and stuff like that. You know, they're able to do that like so flawlessly. Is because at the end of the day, they know it's going to be a shit show and they've just gotten comfortable in the shit show. So, BKFC is the same thing. BKFC has the same thing going on. Obviously, I'm going to be talking a little bit about this, but pardon me if I take this fight off a little bit, right? A little bit, like I don't even know the names of these guys. I know one of them is Tyler Randall, and then the other guy I still have no clue who he is. Strobe or Strode or something like that. Randall is Blue. The other guy Strode or Strobe. I think it's Strode. Strode is in Red. Bulbasaur staring. Ooh. Nice check hook from Randall on the way in when Strode was on the way in. Counter left hook from Strode misses. Oh. Every time Strode throws a check hook or a counter uppercut, every time he throws it, it gets just a little bit closer. When that thing lands for real, that's gonna have devastating effects. Jab cross from Strode. Ooh. Don't know if that overhand right from Strode landed. Might have. Strode's hands are extremely, extremely quick. They're like mad quick. But he doesn't really have the positioning to be landing what he's throwing, and that's kind of an issue for him. And that's why he hasn't put the slower fighter away, Ooh. There was a jab up the middle that landed from Strode. He tried to finish it up with an overhand, but I don't think the overhand landed. All right. Sorry, one sec. I'm trying to. Sorry, I want to. All right. Okay, I think we're good now. All right, so round 3 starts. A few shots up the middle from Strode, but I don't think any of them necessarily landed. Ooh. Ooh. Couple of left hooks from Strode land, but they end up he also ended up eating a few too from Randall. He's got a lot of speed, but I don't know, maybe the power just isn't really there, you know? These guys aren't exactly the biggest. I forget what I think they might be featherweights or something like that, and they're not huge featherweights either, you know. So I don't know, that speed might be there, but the power might not be there because ooh, jab up the middle from Strode. Ooh, couple of swings and misses from both of them, I believe. I think if anyone was going to land, it would have been Strode though. Left hook up the middle from jumping in from Randall. Ooh. See, Randall's using a lot of head movement after his punches, you know? Sometimes people move their head into their punches, but what Randall's doing is he's moving his head with this punch and then he's moving it when he's coming back out. So he's not getting caught with those counters as much as he typically would, you know? And you don't see a lot of that from people anymore. You know, I like people say it's defensive boxing. You know, the art of defensive boxing has been lost, and I definitely can agree with that. And if you want to see defensive boxing, you see, you want to look at dudes like, not Marvin Hagler necessarily. You want to see dudes like Joe Frazier. You want to see dudes like Rocky Marciano. Couple of hard shots, another hard shot, and another hard shot from Strode. And it's, yeah, the power's just not there. You can tell Randall just doesn't respect Strode's power. That's really what it is, because he's eating shots that are square. He's getting hit square with these shots, and they're just not like, they're snapping the head around, and there's no reaction otherwise, you know? Which, like, obviously, they're still scoring blows, right? It's not like those don't count. I'm just saying that insofar as, like, oh, he might get knocked out, I don't know about that, you know? Strickland and Drikas are fighting to see who gets killed by Hamzat. Yeah, I don't know, you know? I mean, oh, hold on. And you see, he moved his head out of the way, and he threw an overhand. You know, he ended up catching one there, catching another there, right? But that's because he wasn't moving his head the way that he was before, you know? Talking about Tyler Randall. But yeah, the art of defensive boxing has kind of been lost, and I think BKFC is an opportunity to revive it, if I'm being honest with you, you know? Dude, I almost got a fucking gerbil today. I'll tell you about that after. And yeah, I was gonna say, like, why can't I remember his name? Oh yeah, Robert Whitaker. Robert Whitaker is like no joke, but I mean, how old is he now? How old is Robert Whitaker? I'm just curious here how old Robert Whitaker is. 1990. So yeah, Robert Whitaker is 34. He's gonna be 35 if he's not already 35. You know, I didn't see what date. How old is Hamzat? 1994. So you have a guy who just entered into his 30s last year versus a guy who has been in his mid 30s for a year or two. Robert Whitaker might be on the downslope. I don't think Robert Whitaker is at a point where he's getting better, if I'm just being honest with you, you know? And because of this, Hamzat beating Robert Whitaker, it's major, don't get me wrong, but is it as major as people would want to believe it is. I don't know. I think there's an argument there. I think there's an argument there. I think there's an argument to be made. Bottom line. What's it called? Drekus. I don't know how old he is. Sean Strickland. I don't know how old he is. Let's see here. 1991. Okay, so he's he's in his mid 30s. And then Drekus is born in 1994 as well. So, yeah. Yeah. We'll see. It's like Robert Whitaker. We're probably not going to see too much more of him. It's just reality, Sean Strickland, he's probably got another year or two in him as well. Tops. All right, so it is now round 5. We took the last round off, so that's why. It hasn't been an unentertaining fight. It's just that I wanted to watch these specifically for a couple of guys that I know, and because of just the scattered nature of everything that's been going on with me today, I'm like, all right, let's take it easy for this next fight. Just kind of try and catch up with the chat and talk about some stuff. Ooh, somebody caught a punch. I don't know who, because the fucking ref was in the way of the camera. Ooh. Fucking what's his face? Strode took a shot coming in. Ooh. What happened? Oh. It's good, chill, cool. It's a good, chill, cool time. Exactly. Oh, man. Looks like Randall's starting to crumble just a little bit, Oh. No, that's not. Yeah. Fucking Randall slipped. Yeah, I mean, the way this fight is gone, I feel like it could go either way. Right now, it's like I said, Strode is kind of getting his way. Randall's faded, but hey, this could be anybody's fight the way I see it. A lot of that counter striking, a lot of those quick hands from Strode, they didn't really come into play. They just didn't really matter that much. And it's because again Randall was moving his head effectively, but I guess we'll see. Sorry, just checking some stuff. So like I said, I'm a little fucked up right now still. I bucked up energy drink. All right, we're gonna see who won this. Yeah. Yeah, it was Strode. They gave it to him.
Andrew, that was a great technical 5 rounds here at Mohegan Sun. You told us before the fight the jab was going to be key. It seemed like counterpunching and timing was key. How did you get that win?
First and foremost, I want to thank everybody at the Mohegan Sun and BKFC. I want to thank you. And you know, the key with this fight
Man.
is my son, he passed away 3 years ago.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? He was only 3 years old, so
Damn.
this is why I come for a living, you know what I mean? To show people.
He's saying his son was 3 years old and he passed away 3 years ago. So his son, who would be 6 right now. That sucks, man. That's awful, dude. You know. Glad the guy got the win. Knowing that, you know. Good for him. All right, but so somebody said that somebody said the Dagestanis. Oh yeah, Smart Moron said Dagestanis are losing their aura. They are, and it's about time. You know, I didn't think it would happen so fast. I said the Dagestanis have another year or two tops. It's already starting to happen right now, where you're seeing these dudes who they're from Dagestan, and everyone's like, "Oh, dude, fucking dude, he's Dagestani though, dude, you can't beat a Dagestani, dude, oh, dude, right?" It was only a matter of time until the game corrected itself, and the game is correcting itself. You have Umar Nurmagomedov, who lost last weekend. You have his brother Usman, who is in Bellator, PFL, whatever the hell you want to call it. And he won, but it was a very controversial decision, to my understanding. A lot of people didn't think he actually deserved the win, which is saying something, considering the way that everyone talks about the Dagestanis, specifically Habib and anyone in Habib's orbit, especially his family members. And then who else? MVP ended up beating Magomedov, right? Yeah, I mean, it was only a matter of time until those guys started meeting their match, and it's not because they were good and everyone else was bad. It was because, well, in a certain sense, yes, they were very, very careful to pick guys that they could beat easily, right? They ran away from hard fights for a long time, but now you're seeing dudes like Islam Makhachev. He's taking tough fights, and that's why I respect Islam Makhachev. I think he's a really like a really good fighter. Seems like a genuinely nice dude as well. You know, which is funny because like everybody surrounding him seems like kind of a piece of shit. He seems like the guy who's just like, hey, you know, he seems like a cool guy. Excuse me. But yeah, it was only a matter of time until people started kind of getting wise to the game, as well as it was only a matter of time until the Dagestanis started overestimating themselves. And you had people like Umar Nurmagomedov taking title fights when they've had like 3 total fights in the UFC. 3 or 4 fights in the UFC against dudes that have no fucking names other than Corey Sandhagen. He fought Corey Sandhagen and won a fucking decision. I don't even know if it was a unanimous decision. He won via decision though, and because of that, he was gifted a fight against the Georgian Merab, you know, and well, we all saw what happened. We knew. Excuse me. But yeah, so it's just it was a matter of time. It's happening now, and it feels kind of good. I'm not gonna lie, it feels kind of good. You know, it's good to see that these dudes are not winning the way that they were a little while ago, if that makes sense. And then there was another one today too. A Brazilian beat some kind of Dagestani, Chechen, whatever he was. You know, that was interesting. You know, Excuse me. So this is a heavyweight bout. This dude right here, I think his name's Gormley or something like that. Yes, it's Parker Porter versus Chase Gorley. Chase Gormley versus Parker Porter. These guys are both UFC vets, so that's interesting. This is going to be an interesting fight. Excuse me. What's going on, Torrin Brown? But yeah, you know, like, it bothers me, the whole Dagestani thing, because it's like the soy boy Reddit MMA kind of take, right? Where you take an exotic foreigner, a noble savage, because that's where that comes from. People think that, like, not just Russians specifically, but like the Dagestanis, they are noble savages, is what they are. People take them and they hype them up, and they start to believe things that are just not true, i.e., like, oh, they work hard over there. And obviously they do work hard over there, right? What I mean, though, is that they work hard over there and what, we don't? Because that's what people are implying when they say they work hard over there. They just have a culture of working hard over there. And it's like, what, we don't? Fucking, we don't have a culture of working hard over here? Are you fucking kidding me? Anywhere you go in the world, there's going to be groups of people who, regardless of what the craft is, but especially if it's a combat sport, they are just absolutely positively about that 24/7, 365. You can't get them out of the gym. That's just the way that it's going to be, right? You have that in America, in every part of America. You have that in Dagestan, yes. You have that in Asia. You have that in Europe. You have that in Africa. Even Australia. Even those pesky Australians are pretty damn hard workers when it comes down to it. So it's just like, again, it's not even the Dagestanis that I like despise necessarily. They're just dudes doing their thing. It's the fan base that surrounds them of like idiot dudes that are stats guys. That's perfect. They're stats guys. Oh dude, did you see DeQuavius Jackson yesterday? Dude, his nuts were in another dude's face. He was able to fucking dunk over the dude, and it scraped his nuts over the guy's forehead, dude. There was a fucking mark from it, dude. It left a testicle-shaped mark on the guy's forehead. Dude, did you see that? Oh, dude, did you know that Jamarcus Jackson? Did you know that Jamarcus Jackson Jefferson? Dude, did you know he ran for 300 yards last season? Dude, fucking, that's crazy, dude. Like, they are the MMA equivalent to stat guys, is what it is. Dagestanis wrestle bears, dude. They wrestle fucking bears. They're wrestling them from a young age, dude. Dude, are you kidding me, man? Dude, it's crazy. Dude, they just work so hard over there. I like to suck dick. I like penis in my mouth. They work so hard over in Dagestan. You think they'd let me suck their penises? You think they'd be okay with that? Like, that's Dagestani fanboys. That's what those guys that's what those guys are. That's what they do, you know? It's like, fuck, man. You know? What do you think about the UFC 313 card in March? I don't know anything about that right now. I'll have to look it up after this. But we got Parker Porter versus Chase Gormley. And Parker Porter is laying it on Gormley right away. And there is a quick knockdown. Gormley is up right away, though. So it looks like Gormley is a little bit bigger than Parker Porter, you know? I don't know if that's the case for real. Yeah, he's definitely a little bit bigger than Parker Porter, but Parker Porter was laying it on early, you know. I think he's probably a little bit more athletic than Gormley is. Oh, a nice right hook from Parker Porter puts Gormley down again, and this time with a little bit more gusto. And they are immediately calling this one. I did not anticipate that was going to be a long one. You know, got a couple of big boys, and, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, man. I forget if I said it already, but what's going on? Hi, Ecuador. UFC 313. Pereira versus Ankalaev. No, Ankalev is how he says his name. Ankalev. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's interesting. We'll definitely have to do that because, excuse me. When Alex Pereira fights, I typically want to watch that. And Ankalev is he's a wrestler too, right? Is he not a wrestler? So that's going to be interesting to see Pereira fight a grappler. The thing is, Pereira is a he is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, so he is not unfamiliar with grappling, obviously, right? And in addition to that, like he is in Connecticut, where he can pull people from Maryland and New York if he wanted to, or I mean, he could just pull people from the nation or go somewhere to get some proper wrestling practice. If there's a couple of places if you had to learn to wrestle in the world that you would want to go: Russia, Iran, and fucking what's it called? The U.S. Those are like three of them, right? Those are three of them. So Pereira being here is a very good thing for him. But anyway, I'm just curious here. So we have Alex Pereira versus Ankalev, Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. That's going to be another good one. Then we have some other guys, a couple of girls. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Seems like an interesting card. We'll have to check that out. It's going to be on March 8th, so a little bit over a month away. Nice.
Speaking of this arena, we can hear the support for you coming out. This is the house that actually birthed the trilogy of guiding wars. You're doing those warriors proud. What did it mean to get that win here?
It's everything, man. I had a long layoff. I got released from UFC in my last fight, and I'm so excited to be here with Bare Knuckle doing this. And to be able to make this debut here in front of a hometown crowd, like I only live an hour away from here, man. This is my home.
Oh, really? I don't know that about Parker Porter. Let me see. Parker Porter just said this is his home. He's from an hour away. Hartford, Connecticut. Oh yeah, he's from fucking Hartford, Connecticut. Oh, interesting. You see, like, New England is basically the size of like one of the states out in the Midwest and stuff like that, right? So you have this situation where some of the states, they have MMA legalized, other states they may not. Like, I don't know if MMA is legal in Rhode Island. I don't think MMA is legal in Rhode Island. Maine, New Hampshire, it is legal. Massachusetts, it is legal. Connecticut, it is legal. Vermont, I believe it is. So the only state that I don't think MMA is legal in is Rhode Island, which is kind of crazy to think about. But regardless, like, you might know of a lot of names from your general area in the MMA world, but then like you go like 2 hours that way or that way or that way or that way, and there's like a whole new set of names that you may not really know that well, and like that's kind of what happened with like Gabriel Gonzaga, right? He was originally from Brazil, obviously, but when he started fighting in MMA, he was doing it in New England, specifically like Connecticut, Massachusetts. He was fighting out of that region. Parker Porter, same thing. I had no clue this guy was from the area. He's from fucking Connecticut. He's a Connecticut guy. He's a New Englander. There's dudes from New Hampshire, shit like that. It's interesting. It's interesting to see. But yeah, and because of that, like I was like, oh, that's funny. I had no clue that was fucking Parker Porter was from here.
He's just gonna walk in the
They just showed a highlight where somebody's tooth got knocked out. You see, What's going on, Richie? John being goofy again? Ah, yes, you know. Look, I don't know what the lore behind that is. I just hope that everybody can be cool about it. You know, I hope John can cool down. You know, um, Jet is usually pretty cool about things, meaning like he doesn't feed into it and stuff like that. I don't know if he's ever gonna want to work with John again. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. You know. Um, then again, even if you wanted to work with John again, it seems like that was kind of a situation where he was like, "Oh, you know, that we're you know, it's like he said on the stream that one time, you know, there's chapters. Oh, this is one of the guys that I was talking about, Jorgen De Castro. Jorgen De Castro is not 6'2". I am taller than Jorgen De Castro. Jorgen is like 5'11". I've been in the room with this guy plenty of times. He is not 6'2", but anyway, um, yeah, I couldn't read the rest of that. I just got tripped up on fucking 6'2". It's like if he's 6'2", I'm 6'4". You know, he's just a big fucking dude. He's just like he's just wide. He's just like that. You know. Um, but anyway, what's it called? Yeah, like I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the future for Fish Tank is. They know they just got to call me and it's all good. You know, kind of like I watched Bex's interview because I really don't know Bex that well, if I'm being honest with you, you know. Cool chick and I enjoy being around her. She's fun to be around and talk to. Real easy to talk to, but I didn't really know anything about her aside from like she was a vegan, you know. She's a vegan and she likes rock climbing and yoga, you know. Um, so I watched her interview just out of curiosity, and you know, she and I are kind of on the same page. Like, we just didn't get a call, and we aren't sure why, and it's all good. It sucks we weren't on season 3, but it's all good. Like, just give us the call, you know. But like, regardless of what the situation is, I hope John and Jet are able to at least be cool about it. You know, if that makes sense. I know it makes sense what I'm saying. All right. Here we have Castro. Jorgen De Castro is actually from my area. He just trains further south. He trains out of a gym called Regiment Training Center, and they're known for they're like he trains out of where a couple of guys in the UFC have trained out of. You know, they're kind of one of like the better. They're kind of one of the better gyms in my area, but you know, yeah, they're good gym, good dudes. You know, and I'm always happy to see this dude do well. Saw the Bex interview too, was good. Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I loved the part where she was asked if you had anything to say to the fans, what would you say? And she was like, "Are you guys okay?" That's exactly what needed to be said. Are you guys good? Is everything okay? Is everything okay at home with you guys? Man. Wow, this guy is fat. Yeah, you see, these guys are fighting in the overweight division. Not the heavyweight division, the overweight division. All right. That's what I would be fighting in if I was fighting right now. I'd be fighting in the overweight division.
Fighting in the ring corner. Tonight he wears pink and black trimmed in blue. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. His official weight, an even 263 pounds. Tonight he toes the line.
Yeah, I don't think that guy's 5'9" either. I think maybe they switched to the heights or something like that because this dude doesn't look 5'9". You know. Ah, yeah, look at those milky titties bouncing.
Tonight he wears black and gold. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall.
I just tuned into Stream East. I know nothing about BKFC as a promotion. Yeah, they're kind of the premier bare knuckle boxing promotion in the U.S. and kind of the world right now. Honestly, the only other ones that come close are like BKB, which is bare knuckle boxing in England, and BYB or Backyard Brawls, which is based out of Florida. You know. Punk ass. Yeah, you can see it looks like Jorgen's a little smaller than this guy. Jab right out the gate from Jorgen. Jorgen walking him up against the ropes immediately. Cross from Red. I don't even remember Red's name. Immediately in the clinch. And letting go. Resetting. Jorgen smartly gets off the ropes. That was a smart move from him. When you break, if your back is to the ropes, you should be moving around, you know. His back was basically to the ropes, you know, and he didn't allow that to be the case. That was a good gamesmanship move on him. Ooh, cross and a hook. I don't know if any of them landed. I think if either of them landed like that, it would have been lights out. A jab does land from Jorgen though. Jab deflected by Red. Jab from Jorgen doesn't land. Oh. Someone's going to hit somebody, and it's not going to be good. Ooh, nice elbow block from Jorgen a second ago. See, for a big dude, Jorgen's got really quick hands, you know? Cross to the body from Red. Ooh, jab up the middle from Red lands. I'm not sure. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me, but it looked like Red shook his hand a little bit like that hurt, you know? Maybe he landed wrong or something. Jab up the middle doesn't really land. Another jab. That might have landed. Talking about Jorgen right now. Ooh. Right hand from Jorgen. Looked like it landed a little bit. Ooh, another right hand. That one definitely landed. And that is the end of the round. So, yeah, I definitely think that was Jorgen's round, you know? Stars and Tigers art made me realize how concise Season 3 was. 2 hosts, 2 cameramen, 2 BTS people. Jet and Majok. Couldn't imagine it with more people. What's Stars and Tigers art? Is that now that I'm thinking of it, it sounds kind of familiar, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, you know? Fucking. Oh, gay guy says he can't tell if the overweight division thing was a joke. No, that was a joke. That was a joke. But when you're a guy who's just fat, it's not that you like you're just fat. You call that the overweight division. You're fighting in the overweight division. But yeah, I mean the thing is though, like Season 3 did fall apart. I don't know why it fell apart exactly, but I'll be honest with you, I do think it was probably a little bit due to things that could have been controlled. I'm not saying it was like completely the fault of like everybody behind the scenes and things like that. Obviously not, right? But I do think there were factors that would have made it a little bit better in certain senses. You know, and I'm not saying that like more behind the scenes people necessarily would have helped that 100%, but I'm just saying that like, you know, regardless of like what the deal is supposed to be. Ooh, uppercut hook from Jorgen. I'll talk more about it in a second. We got a little under a minute and a half. Oh man. Ooh. So what's his face? He got hurt somehow. I don't know what he got hurt with, and then he ended up taking 2 shots, and looks like a cut on his left temple. Looks like there's a cut, potentially even a giant mouse that is bleeding on his left temple. And now Red is absolutely he's desperate. You can tell he's desperate. He's trying to let Jorgen have it, but it's just not working, you know. Jorgen was moving laterally, which was good. Oh. So Red is against the ropes right now. Jorgen being real patient, which is a smart move on his part. He could try and bait a reaction out of Red and then fucking counter the counter. That might not be a bad idea, you know? I'd like to see Jorgen going to the body because right now he's going to the head and it's being deflected by Red, you know? Jab to the body from Red with 10 seconds left in the round. And time. All right, so yeah, I mean, I think Jorgen is winning this fight, you know, easily right now, especially with that knockdown. Like I said, I'd like to see him go to the body a little bit more. We're gonna get a closer look at that cut or potentially even mouse, you know. Ooh, yeah, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. Hematoma. Doesn't look terrible from my point of view. You know, the cut man's working on it. He's not just gonna be like, hey, everybody at home, take a look. But yeah, like when it comes to like you see, I can't comment on how it worked. I can't comment on how it worked because I wasn't there at all, so I don't know how it worked behind the scenes. You know, it might have worked well, it might not have worked as well as it could have. You know, but you know, like it would be nice to see Bex back, right? It would be nice to see because like that's one thing I was realizing is like during, oh, that's it. Jorgen De Castro wins. I don't know if he didn't want to answer the bell or if the doctor said no. But it was in between rounds and you know, it was in between rounds. I'm trying to get a good. Oh yeah, there's a giant mouse. There's a giant fucking bump right here. It is huge. That is a huge bump. That is insane. What was I gonna say? But man. Anyway, yeah, like I don't know how it worked. You know, I will say that like season 3 lacked some things that I think really makes it fish tank. You know, and they had to do that because they were dealing with normies, and I think they need to go back to casting people who know about the show at least a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit, right? And then in addition to that, they need more challenges and they need more things to do during the day. That's just the way that I see it. You know, they need more structured activities so that people aren't just sitting around doing nothing all day. And like there were multiple situations where that happened. And if they had brought in more people, they could have had activities that either A, were pre-planned that they could throw at the fish while they do whatever they need to do in the background, or they could have more heads to put together to try and come up with those activities. You know, either way, like I don't think season 3 was a bad season. I do think it was a failed season, but I don't think it was a bad season. Obviously what we got with the RV saga, that was never going to be like the best, but they weren't doing it because they thought it was going to be the best. They were doing it because they were like, oh, hey, let's just give them something. We promised them 6 weeks. We got to give them something, you know? I'm just curious what Jorgen's saying. Oh, man. You think Jed has too much responsibility? How so? Like you think he has too much on his plate, is what you're saying? Because yeah, that is kind of the thing with having like, you know, 2 hosts, 2 cameramen, 2 behind the scenes people. Like one of the hosts is not there 24/7. You know, Sam has other things that he's doing, even if it's not like he's going around to comedy shows and stuff like that. He has a life that he has to live, you know? So it's not like he's always there. You know, it's just there is a point where you hit critical mass where it's like, okay, maybe we got a few too many people around. Maybe there's, you know, maybe there's too many cooks in the kitchen. But I feel like maybe season 3 was due in part to not enough cooks. You know? Maybe that's what it was, you know? to some degree. I don't know though. I don't know. Like I said, I can't comment from a standpoint of I know because I was there because I wasn't there. Bottom line, you know. Oh man.
None of my fights are ever won. Come out swinging, one belt to the next. There's only one way in and out of this ring, and that's what he's
Yeah, I don't even know if Richie's. Oh, Blood Games was definitely too many cooks. Yeah. Yeah. I get. Yeah. Definitely. You know. Definitely. Or maybe it was less that it was too many cooks and too many chefs and not enough cooks. If you get what I'm saying, too many chiefs and not enough Indians. You know. And it became a little bit confusing because you had multiple people who they were having ideas that they were just going ahead with without like you know it was kind of a clusterfuck in certain senses, you know, as something like that is going to be, but overall like Blood Games turned out extremely well, and I think it's probably because there were so many people who had ideas that they would try to execute in some way, shape, or form. And because of that, there was a lot of stuff that was going on, including some good stuff. But then also, again, on the flip side, there were so many things that just got abandoned randomly because one person like had this idea and then another person had that idea and then all this other stuff, you know. You never know, you know. I think overall they could probably use another person or two downstairs with them. Even if it's like a part-time situation, right? You see, this is another guy, Rico DiCiulo. He's from the North Shore. He's from the North Shore. Very Italian name there. Probably from fucking Revere originally, I would guess. But he trains out of Sityodtong in Somerville, which you know that's again one of the more premier types of gyms around here. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, like even if it was like a part-time sort of thing where it's like you know, like they bring Bex out and they only pay her for like 4 hours a day or something like that, and then the rest of the time she just gets to chill and like, you know, do whatever, right? She's buying her own food, she's buying her own stuff out there, she doesn't have to pay for lodging, right? Like maybe that something like that would work. Or, and I'm not saying I would even necessarily want to do this, like, because I do have stuff to do during the week, even if it is the summer when my work slows down and I take time off. Like, it would be kind of tough for me to be like an on-call guy or like a part-time guy unless, you know, certain things were met. Like, I don't think it would hurt. I don't think it would hurt, you know? And then also, if I'm being honest with you, another thing is that, like, a lot of the time things are just not that clear, and because of that, like, you don't know what to do. It's one thing if you're Jet and Sam and Ben, and you're like, we don't know what direction we're going to take this bit in. We have this bit, we have an idea of what's going to happen, but we don't know exactly how we want to get there in the moment, and we're going to play off of each other. Like when you get sent upstairs and you're told like you're going to teach them karate and you don't know where the line is, you don't know what to expect that day, you don't know what they particularly want, you know, it can be a little like fuck dude, like what am I going to do? And that's part of the reason why I was a little bit nervous for season 2. That's why I kind of bombed during season 2, is because a lot of the time I was just like, should I make these jokes? Should I do this? Should I do that? Are they gonna be mad if I make this? If I do this? Is this stupid? Is what I'm doing dumb? Should I even bother with this? Like, fuck, man. You know, it was, you know, from the standpoint of a guy who could be considered the talent, I guess you could say. It was a little like looking back at one, my nervousness, and then two, also bitch tank, where I kind of came out of my shell and took chances. And, you know, some of those chances that I took may have been all right. Some of those chances I took may have not been all right. looking back at it, it's like a lot of that came from me not being comfortable and then being like, fuck it, I don't care if I'm uncomfortable. I'm not going to listen to that. I'm just going to do whatever I feel like doing. Like, because I need to take chances. I need to pull my weight here. You know, if it makes sense what I'm trying to say. If it makes sense what I'm trying to say, you know. Nah, you were great, man. LOL, working out and boxing were easily my favorite parts of the day. And I appreciate that, gay guy. I appreciate that. You know, that was you know, I appreciate the love from everybody, but there were a lot of people who didn't love it. And me, I have high standards for myself. So if I look, I don't think I'm gonna walk in the room and be able to keep up with Sam Hyde. That's not gonna happen. It's just not, you know. But I don't want to walk in the room and be so weak that everyone's like, what is this guy even doing here in the first place, right? And I'm not saying that that's how everyone felt. Jet told me during season 1 I am actually a really funny guy, and I took that to heart. And then Sam telling me he liked my costume that I put together. He liked my character. He thought it was funny. Xavier saying that he trusts me with improv because I'm good with it, right? That all means a lot to me, but it's not enough for me to just be like the weakest link consistently. I want to continuously get better, right? You know, I continuously want to get better, and I want to be someone who gets talked about in the way that like Xavier gets talked about, right? Or if not that, you know, then like Blacksmith and Blacksmith's wife, right? When you think of Blood Games, a lot of people think of Blacksmith and his wife, you know? And I had my moments, but I was not as prolific as them. And I'm happy for them. I'm not like jealous or upset or anything like that. I'm actually really happy for them. I just want to make sure that I'm heading in the right direction as a comedic slash improv slash whatever I'm doing guy, if that makes sense, you know? Anyway, Mintz is good. He should probably stick around. I don't think I met Mintz. I think he was probably around after Blood Games. If I did meet him, then I feel like an asshole because I don't remember him. But anyway, we have Disulo. I'll just call him Rico versus the red corner. Dishulo. Couple of jabs. Ooh, all right. Rico coming out swinging hard, fast. Connects with a couple of overhands, and then he ends up pushing Red up against the cage. The cage, geez, the ropes. They just broke. Oh, leaping jab from Rico. They're in the clinch, and Red is scoring inside. Ooh, uppercut seems to have potentially landed from Red, but Rico is now laying it on again. Has him pushed up against the ropes, and they break again. And Dishulo just you see, now I know how to say his last name, so I'm gonna keep saying it. But Rico just sort of walking forward in the way that Jack Grady was, but he's being a little bit more effective with power shots, you know? He's pressuring, stepping off a half step, and then he's throwing full on uppercuts and hooks. You know, it's pretty cool. Oh, check hook. Ooh, that was a nice uppercut, followed by another one from Rico. Even if those uppercuts aren't landing as clean as they could, they look like they're hurting. And the thing is, like, fists are smaller than the gloves. So they're going to sneak through a little bit easier. They're going to sneak through a little bit better, you know? Yeah, you see, Rico is someone... Ooh, nice jab from Rico. Oh, here we are again. Rico posting off the head and throwing uppercuts, which is nice. Ooh, and there is a knockdown right there. Knockdown, and that'll probably be the end of the round at some point. You know? See, like, I didn't know who Rico Dishulo was until The Ultimate Fighter. You know, there's just too many guys in the New England area, including, like, my part of New England. So, you know, some dudes slip through the cracks. You just don't really know who they are. And he ended up on The Ultimate Fighter. He got, like, a crazy knockout or something like that. He broke the losing streak for McGregor's team. And this is the first time that I've actually seen him fight like that, you know? Doing a really good job right now. You know, he's imposing his will. He's using that pressure and he's using that aggression. And it's working out for him, you know? It's working out for him. Yeah. That's good advice. Don't curl up, just grab him. Yep. Oh yeah, you know. You see, if you're gonna curl up, it's got to be in an active way. You don't want to passively shell up and then put your head forward. You need to actively do that. And what I mean by that is you don't just go here. You do this and you move forward into him. You take your head and you put it right up against his chest. You know, you curl up and then you explode and you push. You throw. You bang like that, right? And Red is just not doing that, you know, and because of that, Rico is able to tee off with very, ooh. So a left hook starts it off for Rico, and he ends up, uppercut as well. He's landing from long range, too, you know. He's landing from long range and then following it up with pressure. It's interesting to see, you know. Whoa, that was nice. He moved in and he slipped a hook and then he started throwing. Man, this is really cool to see. The counterweight on the back of his head is throwing him off. Talking about the Red. Oh man, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that KD. I was fucking reading the chat. Oh no, it was a slip, I guess. Oh, but that was definitely a knockdown. You cannot say that was a slip. A nice left hook, a rear hook with the left hand from Rico puts him down. Oh, you see, he's just absolutely relentlessly pressuring him, you know, and Red is just he's not handling it well, you know. It is what it is, you know. Sometimes it's just tough, man. You know, getting hit is stressful. You don't want to get hit. Even if you're all right with getting hit, you shouldn't want to. You shouldn't be like okay with it insofar as like, oh yeah, no, I'll just take the hits. It should just be no, I don't mind if I get hit, but I don't want to get hit. Oh man, that was a crazy shot. He single shifted forward, so he was in a righty stance, single shifted into a lefty stance, and then used that weight shift to throw more power into a left hook. That was crazy, man. You know, stress test says they need to stop it. I thought they were stopping it after that punch. I thought the ref was like, I've seen enough, but no, it was the end of the round. You know, I think he got hit. I think he got hit as bang. Oh yeah, right on the button. Bang. Yeah, so that was the end of the round, I guess. Bang, and then there's another one. Oh no, that was the end of the round. That was the end of the round. Yeah. See, I thought the ref stepped in because he was gonna stop the fight, or at the very least give him like a standing 8. I don't know if they do standing 8 in BKFC. You know, a lot of boxing matches they don't have the standing 8 anymore. I think that's kind of dumb. You know. Oh, nice counter right off of the jab. Rico ends up KDing Red. Don't worry, Red will take this round for sure. He needed time. He needed time to warm up. He needed time to get comfortable in there, you know? He's got his timing now. He's got his timing. All right, more relentless pressure from Rico, and there's that switch step again. He ends up missing with that one, but still, cross up the middle. Oh, man, this is just... You see, I think it probably looks a lot worse than it actually is, but it's still not good, and there's a knockdown from Rico. And Red is up at the 8. Ooh, left hook followed by a right to the body, and that is that. Referee Dan Mergliotta stepping in and waving it off. And that was a nothing but dominance, nothing but dominance from Rico, that was good for him. Red looks sad. I'd probably be pretty sad too. Smart Moron says Steven Seagal will be the martial arts guy for season 4. Dude, that'd be hilarious. Oh, man. One of the worst things you can do is allow people on the internet to know you're having a hard time, specifically regarding something like Fish Tank. And I've seen a couple of people. You see, Red was shelled up, and because of that, Rico was able to pick his shots. He was going to throw an uppercut to the head, and he was like, no, it's okay. I have the time. I can stop and throw an uppercut to the body and then a shot to the head, and that's what finished it. That's what finished it, Down in that wine, huh, Scott? This was full when I bought it. No, but anyway, yeah, like one of the worst things you can do is allow people to know that you were upset in that way, And I've seen some people who definitely are like I've seen some people in the Fish Tank world who are upset for one reason or another. And if you're upset, you got to hit people up and you got to let them know about stuff. Like if I was ever upset about anything, I would hit Sam up and I'd be like, "Hey man, what's the deal? Like why did you do that, or why did this happen, or hey, I'm a little upset about this, or hey man, and I've done it before. I'll be honest with you. There's been one time where I was upset about something. I won't tell you guys what. All right? But there's been one time that I was so upset about something that I was like, "Yo, I can't just ignore this. I gotta hit him up, and I gotta be like, hey man, like, come on, what's going on, man? Hold on. But friggin' monster. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I was like, Sam, I just shit my pants again, dude. What the fuck, man? Why does this keep happening, bro? No, but like, and you guys, until I let you know that I was upset about something one time and I hit up Sam and like tried to hash it out, you guys would have been none the wiser. You would have been none the wiser, you know? You never go to Twitter to hash things out, You never go to Twitter to hash things out. That's not a good thing. It's one thing somebody else is going to Twitter talking about you, and you go to Twitter to be like, actually fuck off. But like even then, it's like, nah, you don't just want to do that kind of thing. You don't just want to do that kind of thing. You keep everything private. You keep everything under the radar. Musta, what's going on, Musta X1? How have you been, man? It's been a while. Man. I don't like the public drama, but it does bring eyeballs. Yeah. John's not dumb. Maybe that's part of the play. Like even if he is upset about the jet thing, maybe he's going in on it so hard because he's like, oh, I might as well try my best to make something out of this, and I can talk about it. I can talk about it a little more, Hold on one sec. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure some shit out. I found this picture the other day. Hold on. I found this picture the other day. That's a baby mouse. I found that thing in 2021. It was actually at my gym. It got I would assume a mom got into my gym, and we just found it laying there, just in the middle of like the mat, and we were like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And I picked it up and I took care of it for a day or two, and he was like that big. His eyes weren't open, you know, and he didn't have any fur or anything like that. It was kind of crazy, and I had to hand feed him. I had to get cat formula, and I had to mix it up, and I had to take a blotter, and I had to put it in my hand and take the mouse and put it next to it so that it would smell and be like, oh, that's food, and start like, like eating it out of my hand. It was literally like lapping it up out of my hand. It was so crazy, It was a cute little thing. I ended up bringing him to a wildlife center, and they took care of him, and hopefully they released him. Hopefully he was able to be released. That was crazy, man. This kid getting turned on the Southern Homes tonight. Hell yeah. Excuse me. Well, you see, hi Ecuador. When it comes to John beefing with people, I think what makes this so different is that he is harnessing a side of the fan base that is parasocially attached to Fish Tank, and that parasocial attachment to Fish Tank does not mean that they are attached positively to Jet Neptune. There's a lot of people who parasocially watch Fish Tank and they are just consistently angry at Jet, whether they have a good reason or not. They're just always, always, always angry at Jet. And because of the things that he was saying, that makes it different. It is different this time because he is harnessing the toxic side of the fan base, So yeah, and if I'm being honest with you, like if that was just a play to like, if that was just a play to try and get like viewership to his stuff, that would be kind of a fucked up way to do it outside just what you would normally expect, I've made mistakes in my time, and I have drawn ire towards other people for comments that I have made, and that is not good on my part. And I try my best to make sure that I am not pointing the fans in the direction of somebody to go at them, whether purposefully or not purposefully, right? I try my best to make sure that everything I do and say is not going to be something that feeds the trolls, right? And that is an issue that I have when somebody does that, because it's like, look, we're all kind of on the same side here, we're all going through something similar, we have different angles of the same thing going on. And because of that, like a lot of the toxic fans overlap, meaning like the ones that hate me also hate John, also hate Jed, also hate this person, that person, the other person. So I shouldn't be doing and saying things that are going to rile up that base of people who are constantly talking shit and making it harder to just like go on Twitter, and things like that. I shouldn't be doing that, and people shouldn't be doing that to anybody. People shouldn't be doing that to me. People shouldn't be doing that to Jet or anybody. That's not cool. So it is kind of like, man. Fucking that feel when you will never be picked up off the mat by Scott and hand fed back to health by him. Why live? Oh man. Anyway, not on John's side or anything. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what American Dude Ranch is gonna be. I have no clue what that's about to be. I don't pay attention to people, People just kind of do their thing, and I'm off to the side doing mine, I'm kind of a bit of an island, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I talk to people, you know, I hit up a couple of people today, with questions or just saying hello or some other stuff like that. But like, I'm not constantly collabing with people, you know. It's not something that I'm always doing all the time. Um, you know, I want to start doing it again, but whatever. But you know, so I just don't know. I just don't know. You know, American Dude Ranch is just Ram Ranch with a lisp. Oh man, fucking! I found a sticker. I wish I peeled it down. It was in Virginia when I was walking the path of the 20th Massachusetts in Fredericksburg. There was a picture of a cowboy and it said Ram Ranch really rocks. And I should have peeled it down because for one thing, having that shit on the historical path that my great grandfather walked is like, yeah, nah, I don't know if I want to do that. But then, excuse me. In addition to that, it's like Will Santiago versus Dakota Cochran. I felt like Will Santiago was from my region, but now that I'm looking at him again, I don't know if he actually is. But regardless, yeah, like I feel like I should have peeled it down when I had the chance. You know, I'm probably gonna be going back there this summer. If it's there, I'll peel it down. You know, because I went there just with the wife. I want to bring. I want to see if I can get my dad down there too. You know, because he definitely wants to be there. You know, that's another thing, baby. We gotta, baby, baby, baby. I think she's asleep. Baby, wake up. You're asleep. I just fucking squeezed your nose twice and you didn't even like. It took like 3 squeezes for you to like start fidgeting around, and then I still had to be like, baby. Oh man. You're just like, all right, cool. I'm going back to sleep. Night. Fucking. I think there's only 3 fights after this. I could be wrong. There might be a fourth, but you know, we'll see. In fact, I'll check now. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure this shit out. Oh, the Royal Rumbles tonight, right? All right. Sorry, I started looking at people's stories. That's why I don't know yet. Um, yes. So it's this fight, then the co-main, and then the main. So we got 3 fights left. 200 gorillas versus 700 Scots. Who's gonna win? Fucking dude. I mean, if it was 200 gorillas versus 200 Scots, it would still be unfair for the gorillas. Do you have to ask? Do you even have to ask? Come on now. Take advantage. Take advantage of what, gay guy? Will Santiago, man, like I swear, like Will Santiago's gotta be fucking Will Santiago. Um yeah, no. I'm not finding his Instagram. Well, anyway. Jeff Houston is his name.
Scheduled for 5 10-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Presented to you by Russia, the official recovery and performance partner of BKFC.
By Russia?
Introducing you first. Fighting out of the red corner.
Brought to you by Russia. Fucking taking back Ukraine from the fucking Azov battalion. Why does every ring announcer have to dress like the Riddler? That is one thing I will say is that his fit is a little bit you know. 6 million versus one Great Scott. You know this one? I think we all know this one. Oh, excuse me. Oh no, he's from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So then why the fuck does Will Santiago sound so familiar to me? What the fuck, man? Alba Cuckold, New Mexico. Fighting out of Alba Cuckold, New Mexico. Fuck. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Dan.
Will Santiago told us I have to be aware of Dakota Cochran's power punches as he lunges forward. But when he lunges forward, he also leaves open.
All right, that'll work. All right, so here we are. Cochran versus Santiago. Cochran is in red. Santiago's in blue.
Center circle.
Ooh.
Two very intelligent fighters.
These guys are both just barely taller than the fucking. You see, like that's the thing. Oh, that was a nice shot from Cochran. A right uppercut, right hook. You know.
Sitting on that real long, right in his stance.
So yeah, right now Santiago just turning a lot, you know, using lateral movement. He's circling a lot. Ooh, he got caught up against the ropes a second. Swing and a miss from Santiago. Uppercut from Cochran might have landed. See, like I don't know how big these guys actually are. You know, like that's the thing. Middleweight, like boxing weight classes are so weird. You know. They used to only have like 4 weight classes in BKFC, you know? And it was like they were like big weight classes too. Like 15, 20 pounds between each class. Ooh, left hook from Cochran. Santiago goes down. I think because Santiago was running away and he ended up getting caught. That's probably what ended up happening. And end of the round.
And he landed a little left hand because I didn't look like it hurt it very bad, but just knocked him off. That was the power.
He ended up turning. He ended up turning the fist over. You can see. And the reason why is because if I try and throw a punch here like that, right? Like this is about fully extended for me. If I want to land here, I can go further, right? But it can be kind of a pain in the ass to try and throw a punch and land here or here, right? You land here though, all of a sudden you get another like 6 or so inches of space, you know?
Will Santiago has to adjust with his fight. He has problems dealing with his power. He's getting shit inside. Land some more shots. Get back out.
Ready? Ready? Bubble up. And I just keep moving and wait for some more things. Round number 2. Santiago, he did it. Reaches of the ring to start round number 2.
So a little bit moving around right now. Ooh, another left hook from Cochran, and that hurt Santiago. Santiago is in trouble right now. Overhand from Santiago seemed to land, but not that great. And there is a slip from Santiago. Another left hook from Cochran misses. And Santiago almost gets caught again with a left hook. I haven't really been paying too close attention. Maybe Santiago's been moving towards that left hook the entire time. Chances are he was because, he doesn't want to move towards the power side. You can move towards the power side. Like you just need to know how to do it, right? And there's a lot of guys out there that, they just don't know how to do it very well. And looks like another slip. Whoop. Cross right up the middle. Don't know if it landed. You see, that's a good example of why you don't listen to the ref. Because, he didn't do anything about that. He just said, don't push down on his head. There was no immediate consequence, so there was no reason to stop, You see in there, you saw a snap down from Cochran, followed by him continuing to push down on the head. There's an uppercut, and Santiago is down. All right, 10 seconds in round 2, and that was really weird. The clack went off, and then 2 seconds later, bang! There's the end of the round.
Just such in a bad position because he knows he punches her. Can't see where the punch in your head's at. You don't see it. It's a punch you don't see with her. The better time for pushing that back up the grass.
Sorry, I was checking some stuff here. I don't even know. Well, I know what advice I could give, but I'll be honest with you guys. I'm a little low energy today. I've been a little low energy all day. I knew I wanted to stream today, so I wasn't gonna not stream when I told you guys last night that I would stream. So obviously I'm doing my job here, but in between rounds I don't have that much commentary because I'm just not I'm not storing it, Santiago getting pushed back to the ropes. Nothing's really landed too crazy right now. Doesn't seem like Santiago can handle his pressure or counter it. Yeah, it seems to be it. He's got to take the initiative. He's got to use movement. He's got to be in, out, use angles and things like that. If he's going to be in that lefty stance, Ooh, sounded like something broke because the way that crack was, it sounded like it wasn't just a punch. It sounded like a punch and then snap. It feels like something broke, And here we have what's it called? Santiago down again. He's got to tickle him harder. That's exactly what it is. And there is the knockout. That is I believe a straight up knockout. He might have 10 counted him. I could be wrong, but either way, these fights have been pretty one-sided since I joined. It's your fault, Stress Test. It's your fault. And this is again, this is one of the reasons why I would not want to make a career out of fighting, or that I simply just wasn't prepared to make a career out of fighting when I first started. There's many reasons, don't get me wrong, and a lot of the reasons were my fault. It was on me, but some of the reasons that were not on me necessarily were not having the understanding that people are always just looking for a fight that is one-sided as they can make it. You know, that's what's happening a lot of the time. Is that Clarissa Shields? Is she back to boxing? I don't know, but either way, yeah, Shields versus Perkins, I guess. I don't know. Women's boxing, who gives a shit about that? Uh, but anyway, like that's just a reality of the fight game is that like you should be looking for fights you can win easily. Right? And I'm not saying every fight is going to be or has to be a fight where you're like, yeah, no, this guy is a total bum. He's not on my level. I'm gonna dominate him. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying that like you need to take fights that quote unquote make sense. And when people say they need fights that make sense, what they mean is they need fights that they can win with relatively less risk to them, whether it's physical risk or just risk of losing. That just is what it is. Exactly. Can collecting. Can collecting. We call them can crushers, whatever you want. The term only cans is it's a new term, I guess you could say. And he definitely broke a rib. And I think we could probably pinpoint when the rib broke because you guys notice I said I heard what sounded like two cracks almost, and it was like crack crack, and it's like, oh man, I don't know, maybe the crack was two ribs. Who knows? Something definitely broke though. You could hear it. You could hear that shit. Oh man, that sucks, man. But yeah. If you go into a fighting career with the state of mind that I had going into my fighting career, even if you work really, really hard and you're always doing your best and things like that, the best you can really hope for a lot of the time is to be known as a really tough journeyman. And that is not something to strive for, if I'm being honest with you. It's not a good thing to be known as a really tough journeyman. Even if you have like a record of even if you have a winning record, your record is like 10-7. You got like a 10-7 record. All right, cool. You got 3 more wins and losses. That's still not a good thing because at the end of the day, like nobody is going to respect you when they look at your record, right? All people care about is numbers, and unless they see 100-0, there's always going to be that little thing where they're like, yeah, all right, man, what's that loss you got there? So if you go in there thinking you're fighting for glory, like you're not, like nobody, I'm not gonna like, I'm having lobster rolls for dinner. Right, I got a bunch of lobster. I'm gonna make lobster rolls out of it. I'm testing out a new way to make lobster rolls. Not like a new way, but like a way for me to make lobster rolls. And when I'm doing that, I'm not about to fucking like walk into the kitchen and keep thinking about like Jorgen De Castro. He's a cool guy. I really like him, and I'm always glad to see him do well. And when he fights, I'm totally ready to like do my thing. I'm totally ready to be like, hey, let's watch. I'm totally ready to watch whenever he's fighting. But I'm not sitting around thinking about the guy all the fucking time. Like, yeah, right. At the end of the day, when Jorgen De Castro retires, all his fights are going to be is just a number on a sheet. That's it. And people are going to judge the numbers on that sheet without having the understanding of what actually happened to create those numbers. Like, for instance, Jorgen De Castro, he knocked out Justin Tafa. I think he lost a fight after that, potentially. And then he fought Greg Hardy. Either that or it was he fought Greg Hardy, then he lost another fight after that. When he fought Greg Hardy, he lost the fight, but it was because he broke his foot in I think it was the second round. He broke his foot in the second round. And he just couldn't come back from that. So it's not even that Greg Hardy was that much of a better fighter than he was. He was actually winning the fight until he broke his foot. But on paper, it says he lost to Greg Hardy. So nobody's going to question that. They're just going to be like, yeah, but you lost to Greg Hardy. You know, they're going to say some weird shit like that. So it's like I said, it made me rethink. It made me rethink what I was doing with my whole, like, I want to be a fighter as a career path thing, you know? There's really no point in it unless you are doing it the right way. And I did not have the resources to do it the right way. Because at first I wasn't as dedicated as I needed to be. And that is my fault and my fault only. But then even when I became dedicated, I still just did not have the resources, like I said. So there it is, you know. Scott, I sit around all day thinking about you all the time. What should I do? Keep at it. Keep at it. Fucking, he looks like Yoel Romero's grandpa talking about Will Santiago, kind of. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, you know. All right, so we got 2 more fights. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm kind of hoping they end in quick knockouts because you know, I am like I said, I'm low energy today, and I wanna make those lobster rolls. You know, it sucks. Like my friends are playing AOE earlier than usual, so I'm like, oh man, dude, I want to play AOE, but like I'm streaming right now, and I gotta cook dinner after this. What am I gonna do? You know, and it's already 9 p.m. I should really just say fuck it and go. You know. Excuse me. All right, so now we have the co-main event. Oh man, they're doing that stalling shit where they just keep showing fucking like highlights from past cards. That shit's annoying. Looking forward to a modern insurgent deep dive. We'll do that. We'll do that Wednesday. We'll do that Wednesday. You know, tomorrow is Oblivion Sunday. We won't do one tomorrow. We'll do it Wednesday, and we'll read up on different organizations and shit like that. You know. So right now we have Benjamin Ward versus James Dennis. This is the co-main. I've never seen either of these guys fight. I have no idea who they are. And then it's Julian Lane versus Cameron Van Camp. You may know Julian Lane from The Ultimate Fighter. He you know, he was on The Ultimate Fighter and he started crying, yelling "Let me bang," you know. Let me bang, bro. Let me bang, bro. And yeah, so that was there it is. But yeah, Julian Lane has been kind of a force in BKFC, you know. He really only loses to like other top guys in the organization, you know, the Mike Perrys and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see him back. You know, he was doing really good for a little while, you know. But yeah. That guy, yes, that guy, gay guy. You may be gay guy, but Julian Lane is that guy. Yeah, so they're stalling right now. Bang.
Speaking of the big man in the division, Jorgen De Castro over.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Jorgen De Castro back, you know. Jorgen's got really good striking. You know, he's got really quick hands for a big guy, you know. He's got crazy good kicks too.
Switching stances, punches from different angles. Quentin Boyd did not have an easy drop. 5
Jeez, you see Rico, his nose is like, oh, a little bit like that. You can tell it was broken and it was never really set properly, you know? Whoops. Dude, they keep talking about how this was the first fight between Arturo Gatti and I almost said it, Andre Ward, jeez. Mickey Ward, you know? And it's like, yeah, that's cool and everything like that, but like fucking, you know.
With that, let's send it to Sean Wheelock and Chris Lytle.
Thank you, Kurt. Chris, our main event is ultra deep welterweight.
Oh man.
Versus Cameron. Hypno fight, it's a ratings fight. Julian Mackey wants to get inside. He wants to do it enough fast. Once in the day, let me bang, bro. He wants to get in that bang. You see here, get through a extremely smart because he's had so many bare knuckle fights. He understands he wants to bang upon that turn. He's gonna bang when he wants to. And then he gets out. Don't trade punches. You can't do that in this sport. You have to fight if you want to. Land your punches, get out, do that defense.
Fucking Bryce Mitchell apologized for what he said a little while ago. He said, in the future, I will be much more considerate when talking about the suffering of all peoples. And then he said, I'm sorry I sounded insensitive. I definitely was not trying to offend anybody, but I know I did. I know that a lot of people died in the Holocaust, and that's a fact. Hitler did a lot of evil things. I think we can all agree on that. I'm definitely not a Nazi, and definitely do not condone any of the evil things Hitler did. Yeah, you know? Hey. Is what it is, you know? I don't know if he apologized on his own or if somebody else apologized, if somebody else told him he should apologize, but you know, at least it wasn't corporate as fuck, the apology. You know, I'll say that. Oh man. Wait, I don't get what's wrong. How did he go from knowing it was BS to knowing it was real overnight? Fucking dude, it's the power of education, sir. It's the power of education. You know? Yeah, I don't know. You know? Fucking something that a lot of people so and I'm not just talking about Hitler guys and stuff like that, but something that a lot of people do when they have opinions and stuff like that is they want everybody else to think like them. And it's not even enough to have the extreme majority on your side. You have to have 100% of the people on your side, and anybody who doesn't is like a threat to you in some way, shape, or form. And that's true whether you are in power or not in power. And because of that, like, there's going to be a lot of people who get mad at Bryce Mitchell for like apologizing after he saw that there was a lot of people he probably cared about and valued that were coming out and saying things about him that he didn't like, you know? Like, you can't blame the man for being like, oh man, all my friends are mad that I said that. I didn't mean to hurt my friends. Like, oh, you know, like a lot of people that even if they're not my friends, like I don't think they're bad people. They're upset about it. Like, oh, I didn't want to upset these people, man. Like, oh fuck, dude. Man, maybe I should just say something. Maybe I should just apologize, you know? Like that's not a bad thing that he feels that way, you know? It's not a bad thing to care about what the people around you think. It becomes something different when you're going along with like shit that is immediately harmful to you or other people. That's one thing. But it's something different when it's like it's something that, like, whether Bryce Mitchell believes it or not, it's not going to change anything. You're not going to get what you want when everybody either agrees or disagrees that the Holocaust happened, right? That's not the thing that's going to change everything for you. That's not the thing that's going to get you what you want out of the world and out of your community and out of your friends and family and everything else, right? That's not going to be the thing. It's honestly inconsequential whether Bryce Mitchell is like, yeah, it happened, or no, it didn't. You know, um, because regardless, like, he's just fucking Bryce Mitchell. You know, this is what it is. There's going to be a lot of people who are upset about that. This is what it is. All right. So James Dennis versus Brendan Ward, I think his name was. I guess Jet blocked John. That sucks. All right. Ooh. Trading a little bit. Not only do they have huge power, they're both pretty quick too. They both got some quick hands. Ooh, nice counter hook from Red. And Red is down. Red is down and he looks hurt. He's in turtle position. Ooh, man. Oh, man, that was 10 count. Yeah, there's blood too. There's blood. You see, like, Scott, you got your wish, dude. Apparently. You see, the thing with bare knuckles versus gloves, right? If you watch a dumbass show like fucking Sports Science, they'll tell you that actually there isn't really much of a difference between a gloved hand and an ungloved hand, but there is, and a gloved hand is going to be more well protected. But then, in addition to that, you're also hitting a hard object with a hard object, right? And I know that, like, underneath that glove is a hard object that has wraps on it, right? However, not only will the padding definitely, whether you want to believe it or not, absorb a little bit of, oh yeah, his nose is absolutely fucked up. That is broken and then some. You can see how that thing's gonna need to be reset. I was saying that, like, for one thing, like, the padding of the glove will pad the blow a little bit. Whether it's that it's not as hard, or if it's a situation where instead of the force of impact being concentrated in something the size of your knuckles, something not just the size of your knuckles, but also the density of your knuckles, it's being concentrated over a flat, thicker, wider surface, right? Force equals mass times acceleration, which means you have to take the weight of an object and multiply it by the speed of which it is moving through the air. The only way to increase the amount of force that is going to be transferred is to make whatever it is smaller. Not less weight, but smaller, right? So the mass needs to be condensed down into a finer point before you're going to get any further anything. Oh, is there going to be a Brendan Ward is from New England too, I guess. I had no clue. Anyway, but yeah, like you you know, the bottom line is like if you get hit with bare knuckles, the force is being concentrated in a smaller area, a smaller surface area than if you were to hit somebody with boxing gloves, which it's going to be this there. So instead of leading with these two little bumps right here, these two little nipples, these two hand nipples, all right? Instead of leading with these, it's just going to be a flat surface that you're hitting with more. If that makes sense, what I'm trying to say, you know? Should I have gloves on when I swing a good right hook on my mom's face? Probably, you know, it'll protect your hand a little bit easier. Yeah, I've never heard of Brendan Ward before. I have no clue where he's from. You know, apparently he's from New England, but you know, I've never actually seen the dude around.
Brennan, we know that it was a long journey to get here personally, professionally, but now you're here and you just did that. How did you make it look so easy?
I mean, listen, I always had the abilities. You know, my career's been up and down. My life's been up and down. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, everyone knows the story, man. I went through a lot to get back here. You know, life's a grind, man. It's hard. I'm not here. Dude, I'm one of you. I'm one of everybody. You know, I'm your guy. I'm as blue collar as it gets. I know I got my pile drivers, my union brothers and sisters are in the house of all trades. I'm a tradesman. I'm a father. I'm a fighter.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just here. I wake up every day, just try to do my best. Set a great example for my kids and for anybody watching, man. You can overcome whatever. I was at the bottom of the bottom. You know, if I want to be at the top of the top, I'll be there if I want, you know.
We can hear you feeding off of the crowd. You're proudly representing New Mohegan, Connecticut.
Oh, so he's a Connecticut guy.
I've never been one to fall out. I've never been one down, but at this point, I'll fight with them. I'll fight with them.
Fucking, I got this from my dad at a whatever it's called, a oh yeah, at an antique store, Flutie Flakes. Doug Flutie, he was a quarterback for the New England Patriots.
With my parents watching from home, and that's it, man. That's it. Hey, the dresses. We're going to Jackson Hole. Let's go.
Brennan Ward, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen,
There we go. Okay. Man. See, Doug Flutie was like the starting quarterback for New England for like fucking years, you know? Oh no, fucking for the Bills? He was a Bills quarterback at that point? Or was yeah, no, because hold on. Now I'm trying to figure out here. We have a little bit of time before the thing, so we have a little bit of time before the main event. So I'm just curious, right? Yeah. So Douglas Richard Flutie is an American former professional football quarterback who played blah 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 blah. He played for the BC Eagles. Oh no, he played for a lot of different teams. Damn, fucking. Okay, so he was playing for the Pats in 1987 through 1989. Okay, and then he played for the Patriots again in 2005. He actually it was kind of funny because they had him drop kick for 2 points. They had him come in like they were about to throw for passes, and fucking they ended up drop kicking the ball for a 2 point conversion. That was one of his more famous plays in his later career. You know, it was funny, but Oh, okay. Flutie was born in Manchester, Maryland to Dick and Joan Flutie. His paternal great-grandparents were Lebanese immigrants. His family moved to Melbourne Beach, Florida when he was 6, where his father worked as a quality engineer in the aerospace industry. While there, Flutie read who, blah, 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 blah. After a dramatic slowdown of the space program in the mid-1970s, the Flutie family moved again in 1976 to Natick, Massachusetts, kid. 20 miles west of Boston. Yeah, so that was kind of like one of the things that he was known for, is like, he's like a hometown boy kinda. Except he's not. He was born in Maryland. That's all right, dude. He's one of us, kid. He's fucking one of us, kid, you know. And then in addition to that, he was a he played for Boston College, so good for him. Oh man. Um all right, here we go. Yo, Dad, I got you this 40-year-old cardboard box. Love you. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Mom loved those things when she was living. She passed away 3 minutes ago. Ah, man. Just missed her. Just missed her.
Very well because Lane has a good teaming ability, Beckham said, to win rounds 4 and 5.
We can't throw with the football comparisons, and he will switch stances often.
I'm reading the Flutie Flakes. I'm like, how, huh? 150 calories with milk. A little bit of potassium in there, a little sodium. 26 grams of carbs. And only 13 sugars. I feel like there's a lot more sugars in fucking Frosted Flakes than Flutie Flakes. I don't know though. I don't know though. You know? All right, so here's Julian Lane. Damn. I want to play AoE with my friends, but I really need to make dinner after this, and like making dinner is gonna be like a fucking 20 to 30-minute affair. Then I have to eat it. Like as soon as this fight is over, I'm gonna, because like this was not supposed to be a 3.5 hour stream. I figured it was gonna be like 2 hours or so. I obviously greatly underestimated that. Whoops. So we're gonna do our thing and we're gonna get out of here after this. Like I said, I promised to stream, and I had a good time. Don't get me wrong, and I don't think it was the worst stream ever. I've had bad streams before. I don't think this was a bad stream by any stretch, but just the way everything ended up with like me rushing to get to the start and everything like that, it was just like fuck. Sky, you should drink this great new drink called Soylent. It's like liquid lunch, no bad side effects at all. Dude, I tried to, but I can't open the bottle. It's just on too tight. I try to open it and I just hurt my hand.
Senior Vice President of Sports and Entertainment, Tom Canto, and our ringside supervisor in attendance, Mike Mazzulli.
Mike Mazzulli. That's kind of a shitty camera angle. They're trying to do they're staring at each other across the octagon thing that the UFC does, but they're trying to put their own spin on it, and it just looks bad. It just looks bad having that upward camera angle. That just looks so stupid, Jeez. See, I feel like "Let's knuckle up" is kind of a bad tagline. I feel like you could just shorten that to "Knuckle Up," you know? Again, just such a shitty fucking like camera angle, dude. I hate that this guy was like, haha, let's get creative here. You know? Sounded like he had to double check. He's like, he's wearing black trim and maroon snakeskin. Jeez, 17, man.
Told us I have to control the tempo in the range. I cannot get stuck in the clinch. I cannot get pulled into a brawl. Fires up the stretch.
All right, and here we go. Julian Lane in the blue and fucking Van Camp in the red. Van Camp is quite a bit taller than Julian Lane, you know. I would assume a reach to match. So we're just feeling each other out right now. No one taking any chances. Well, check hook from Van Camp sort of lands, but it doesn't land with anything too crazy.
Resetting on his striking line.
You see both these guys go through the fill-out process. They keep looking for the opportunity to land those hard shots. You've got to be smart about it. You know, it's Julian Lane is a very heavy-handed player.
And acknowledging as such. 40 seconds remaining round number one.
Ooh, nice left hook from Van Camp. Almost knocked Julian Lane off his feet. Ooh, nice jab from Lane. Another nice jab from Lane. People are not liking this right now. They're not liking the measured start. Granted, it has been a round of mainly just like looking at each other. There hasn't been anything too crazy, you know, and I don't think that's a good thing. I'm pretty sure it's just 5 2-minute rounds still. I don't think there's like, you know, I don't think main events have anything extra special to them unless it's a you know, a fight for a belt, you know, a title fight, and even then I don't think there's championship rounds in the title fight. I think it's just 5 2s. That's it. Oh, we're in the piss zone. I move forward and it's not that bad. I move back and piss. I'm just realizing where's my fucking layout and shit like that. Whoops. All right, that's a little bit better. All right, round 2 of 5, and let's see if something happens now. Ooh, nice uppercut from Van Camp. Lead uppercut stepping out. Yeah, that definitely hurt Julian Lane. You know, Van Camp pointing at him. He probably should have just pounced. Probably shouldn't have bothered, fucking showboating. Yeah, Van Camp's putting together combinations. You know, Julian Hand throws an overhand right, doesn't really land. Now they're clinching. Ref breaks them. So I mean, Julian Lane needs to work his way in, you know, and he needs to do that with head movement. He needs to do that with jabs, and he can't be getting caught on the end of Van Camp's punches. You know, Van Camp's gonna have that. Van Camp's gonna have that. You guys know what I'm talking about. He's gonna have that overhand right from Julian Lane. Although it looks like he might have got caught with a left hook. I could be wrong though. Nice jab. Oh, ooh, that was a nice shot from Julian Lane. I don't know if it landed. He might have caught it on the he might have caught it on the not the shoulder blade, the shoulder, you know. I was saying the clavicle. Ooh, nice overhand from Julian Lane. Oh man, Julian Lane getting caught now. That's not bad. That wasn't a bad round. No. Yeah, that uppercut from Julian Lane. It looked like it hurt him more than it did, you know. I thought like it looked like it hurt him more than it did. You know, seeing the replay, I remember it a little bit differently. What's going on, GQ, BBQ? How's it going, man? Hope you're doing well.
Pivotal welterweight fight for both men, Julian Lane and Cameron Van Camp.
All right.
Immediately trying to mirror the hits of Van Camp to start the third round.
I still give it Julian Lane problems.
Camp circling on the outside.
Julian Lane working his way in with a double jab cross. I don't think anything really landed. Sort of a leaping hook from Julian Lane. He ends up eating one or two. Looks like a fucking carrot on Van Camp's back. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. You know? I used to be really good friends with Jeff Houston back in the day when he was announcing for like $5 a show work in the Indies. That's pretty crazy. I got to meet him at the tryout. You know, he seemed like an all right guy. Jab from Julian. Yeah, jab from Julian Lane. He ends up getting out of the way of the counter right hand. Jab from Van Camp. Seems like it just barely missed. And a clashing. I have pics of Jeff Houston and I from back in the day, and he always wore those suits that looked like Liberace. Oh, man, I missed something here. Yeah, I figured that probably wasn't a new thing, you know. That's probably Jeff Houston's thing, is he wears those crazy suits. You know, is Jeff Houston... Ooh, overhands. Couple of overhands from Julian Lane. I think at least one of those fit. Through. Fucking... What's it called? Is his name really Jeff Houston, though? Is his name really Jeff Houston? Because, like, you know, I don't know. There's just something about that name. It sounds kind of fake. Yo, but then again, so does Bruce Buffer. Gonna see some replays here. Yeah, Julian Lane comes in with an overhand, then a left hook to follow up. That dislodged Van Camp's balance just a little bit. And then Julian Lane ends up catching a right hook while you know, Van Camp's backing up and his mouthpiece gets knocked out.
Clearly, shown for both fighters, respective companies, respectful in both directions, but they certainly got heated yesterday at the weigh-ins.
Yo, what's going on, Neon? How you doing, man? Nice little uppercut from Van Camp. I don't think it really landed, though. Oh. Looks like Julian Lane's mouthpiece came out again. Looked like something fell out. I don't know what. Jab from Van Camp doesn't make it through. Ooh, overhand right by Julian Lane catches Van Camp, and I don't think he's getting up from this. He was not going to get up. They just waved it off. That was a good move. The thing is, like, it was a little bit weird because it looked like there may have been a headbutt. Accidental, of course, right? But, like, the way Julian Lane came over and then they collided with each other, it almost looks like Julian Lane hit him with the overhand. That dislodged his balance, and then bang, like that. You know? That's you know, that's pretty crazy. You know? I came from the City Life Project live stream. What's City Life Project? I'm curious. City Life. Yeah. What's the City Life Project? I'm curious. The City Life Project. MMA fighter Shannon Rich kills a man in self-defense in an Arizona parking lot. Damn, that's pretty wild. Oh, hold on. Bang. Oh, no, that was perfectly clean. That was completely and totally clean. Bang. Man, that was just It's crazy because it didn't even look that crazy. Like it was a good overhand right. You just see bang. It almost looked like it slipped off and he kind of but that was it. That's all she wrote after that, you know? People just talk about living in cities. Fuck him. Yeah, no, this is like damn. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I've never heard of this guy before, you know? I was curious who he was. Was fun, Scott. Thanks for streaming late. Hey, no problem, gay guy. Catch you later, man. All right. So, it's like I said, thank you guys so much for coming, but I do got to get out of here right away. I didn't think this stream was going to be this long, and I got to make dinner. It's already almost 10 p.m., and I'm only just, like, starting on dinner. I feel like such a fucking idiot. I am going to be streaming tomorrow, not at 5 p.m., probably a little bit later, because I have stuff to do tomorrow, but if I can't stream tomorrow, then maybe I'll stream Monday. I'll try and get it all figured out so that I can give you guys something for Oblivion, because you know we are doing Oblivion streams on Sundays. Yeah, so I will catch you guys later. All right, thank you so much. Peace.